So before we begin, like you all know, we will be talking about UX a little bit in today's session, and it will not be like very technical or in depth of what we do, but just to give you an idea what UX actually is. We keep hearing that okay, UX design, UI design, UI UX design, product design, all of these buzzwords in the market, but sometimes the real essence is lost in those buzzwords. So, how many of you want to become a UX designer or are already UX designers? I'll not be able to see the chat because I'm presenting the screen. So please feel free to
I
unmute
will help
and
you. I
let
will
me
help
know.
you. Like I will read that.
Sure, 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 sure. Works. So how many of you? Uh, do we have like 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 people
There
or
are
all
around
of us?
48 people. I just yeah, Mukesh is saying that just want to know about it is what it is. Rahul Rathod,
Okay,
we know
okay,
something about UI and UX.
hmm, okay,
Keep on texting, guys. We will know.
okay, okay.
They're
So,
responding.
all right. We will discuss a little bit about what UX is, okay, what we do inside of it and how we do it, what may be the few skills that are required to maybe get ahead in what you are doing right now, and what it takes to create something meaningful, right? But before we do that, so a little bit about me, what I do. So you might not know who I am. So a little bit of pictorial background for you all. So if you see the image on the top left, this is the place where I come from. So I come from this very small town in Uttar Pradesh called Bareilly. And this is where I come from, and also from the top, left bottom. This is also where I come from. So I am the product of these two guys, right? So this is how my journey started from this column. So I studied in Bareilly till 12th, then did my engineering from Punjab. Uh, did engineering as all of us were doing at that time. Didn't have any idea that okay, I can pursue a career in design also, right? So did my engineering. After engineering, started working full time. So this is my very first job I did. Started with Wipro. So I started as a network engineer with Wipro, but I left it in 5 months because I was not actually enjoying it. So I almost wasted 3 years doing all these random jobs that I could get just to get some money, right? Because it was hard to sustain. I was living in Delhi at that time. So it was hard to sustain. And if you're not taking money from your parents, it's even harder. So just hopped on few jobs, left Wipro, joined a BPO for 5, 6 months again. Then again left that, joined another BPO, did all of these stuff for almost 3 years, and then finally start taking things seriously. So I left all of these things and went back home so that I can think what I have to actually do in my life. And then accidentally I came across design that okay, this design is also something that I can have a career in. It can be like a full-time job or it can actually pay. So that's how I got to know about design and started learning by myself. So I don't have a design degree or a proper design education, just self-taught, started learning. And at that time, there were no uh, YouTube channels or content creators on Instagram, or maybe a lot of courses out there in the market, which could help me learn more about it. So this journey started back in 2017. So that's how I entered into design. So the next image, if you'll see, is the first full-time job that I got with. Indian Council of Agricultural Research in New Delhi as a UI UX designer, and I got the chance to curate the whole brand identity for an international conference where we hosted Bill Gates as our chief guest. So that was my first job. Did spend almost close to 3 years there, and then during COVID, started looking for jobs again, and then landed on to Deloitte. So currently, I am working as a senior designer there at Deloitte, where I work on the brand experience, curating all the user experience side of the Deloitte website. So that happened, and I also mentor design aspirants, professionals, entry level designers, or anyone who is jumping into design. So I started mentoring on ADP list, got recognized as a top 1% mentor across globe. So if you guys don't know about ADP list, it's a global mentorship platform where you can connect with anyone, any designer across the world and for free. So it's not a paid thing. You can connect one on one for free for half an hour, 1 hour, whatever you like. And that's how it started. And apart from that, I started a small design community called Design Land last year with one of my co-founders, Sanjay. So we started this community last year with the whole idea of how our journey was. So just to engage with the people from the community, from designers across India. So currently we are around 5,000, 6,000 designers spread across India. And we do events, meetups, networking sessions, workshops, all of this throughout India and have been doing it. So just turned one this month. So this has been a quick journey till now. And presently I am before you. So we will be talking about UX, about design, all of these things, a little bit less technical, more into the working side of it. So, yep. For this, I would require few of your answers again. So, what is design, anyways? We talk about all of these words, but the core, what is it? What is design?
तो उधर वेट करके आज भी खत्म हो जाएगा.
Anyone? Any random word that
Yeah, yeah,
comes
yeah.
onto your mind? Anything?
Diagram. Like Jashwant is responded diagram or patterns.
Patterns, diagrams. Okay.
Response,
Anything else?
guys.
See,
Response
this
in the chat.
session will not move ahead if you guys won't respond because I don't know anything. You guys are the one who will take it forward. So please help me take it forward, right? So if you'll help
Mukesh
me,
Reddy is
we'll be
saying,
able to finish it faster. Yes, yes, please.
Mukesh Reddy is saying that is style, design is a style, and
Style.
Pranit is saying that it's a thing to attract the users. Nikhil
Okay.
is saying that design is a specific pattern.
Hmm.
Venkatamadhu is saying that visually creating a plan. Azaruddin is saying the process of planning and creating something. Sneha is saying that the picture which is seen by user. Teja
Hmm.
is saying connection of points with line.
Okay.
Dhanvantri is saying that diagrammatic component with the representation. Mukesh is saying
Great.
another thing like it is to make it attractive.
Perfect. Perfect. Lot of valid answers. Yes, yes. Design is that. So let's look at some designs. Okay. So one thing that is very much relatable and that is the core of what design is problem solving, right? So it solves any problem. You are designing because you're solving some problem, right? If you think of anything that is designed, anything, it will be solving some or the other problem. If it is not, then it's not a good design, right? So we always judge because design is very subjective. So we always judge that, okay, this is a good design, this is a bad design, this is even worse, right? So if it is solving a problem, it is a good design. But if it is not, if it defies its purpose, it's definitely a bad design or not a design at all, right? So let's look at some images and you guys tell me if you like those or not, right? So what do you think of these two designs? This is from a same company called Black Gold, and one is the insect killer and one is the cooking oil. Do you think it's a good choice or a bad choice?
No. Mukesh is saying no. Nope, not good. It's bad. Average, bad. No. There is no
Okay.
difference. Bad. Bad choice. It's bad. Bad choice because of C color and font style. It's bad.
It's bad. Okay. Let's
Yeah.
look at some other also. This was one controversial design that was there from Apple itself. So Apple is known for its excellent designs, but
Yeah, yeah.
this was something that they created.
Pranit is saying ban it immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah, they had to take it back. They had to iterate on it. So yes,
And
definitely we should
Nikki is
have banned
saying
it.
looks mid.
Yeah. Below mid, I would say.
Like
Okay, few more
Venkatamadu
things.
uh,
Mhm.
good. Harshita is saying that good design, but it will uncomfortable and have to wait. It changes. It charges.
Correct, correct. So that is like few points that you guys also said when we talked about design that okay, it might be looking good, but it should be usable also, right?
Yeah,
So maybe the UI part is good, but the UX part is not good, right?
yeah.
Again, here, where will you go? You'll go to first floor twice, second floor twice.
User friendly. We don't go together. Okay. User friendly and Apple don't go together. And previous product.
Somewhat agree. Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Like
Okay. This one for all the visual designers.
illogical, average but not improperly arranged, clumsy,
Yep.
no good, filled it. UX is done on real world designs as well as or just software side of it. More highlights and everything is in bold.
Mm,
నీకంటే చూస్తే
mm.
సజెషన్ వస్తుంది అంటే సజెషన్
Yep.
లో వస్తే ఒకరోజు చూస్తే నో ప్రాబ్లం
So
ఎన్నిసార్లు చూసినా
very
చూడు
bad. This one,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
what
excellent.
exactly does this shop does? Can we guess?
I think they do exchange the kids. Yeah. Toys exchange, response, no
Yeah.
arrangements, childish,
Yeah.
it's chanting the meaning, child stuff exchange, it is a paradox, kids smuggling.
As a kid, I would be very worried going inside this exchange. But again, this logo, it's a very famous institute logo. So is it good? Is it bad?
Not good. Bad, bad. No space. Not good.
Does it
Looks
remind
like
us of
Ice
something
Age.
else also?
Looks from Ice Age.
Ice Age. Okay.
The balloon covering the number one.
Yes. Actually, they wanted to show this building and there is sun behind it, but it translates to a lot of different things. So that's how it is. So okay, we
Let's
just
stop here.
went through all of these examples, and I think you guys already know how and what should be done because some things look pretty, but we cannot use. Something maybe we can use, but might not look pretty, right? So the term UX, what it means is it's just a short form of user experience, right? And like because of all the digital age and digitalization of everything, UX is just like in our sense, it's just restricted to digital interfaces, right? But user experience is not just confined to that, right? It's everywhere. Even like as we saw in all of those examples, these were different examples from different medias. Some were logos, texts, okay, even physical elevators, all of those things, flyers, right? Even real world physical products that we use. So it's everywhere, but it's our responsibility as designers to make that balance between that experience and the interface. And that's where, like, that's what we do actually as UX designers, product designers, or whatever title we like to call ourselves. But the core is that we want our users to use our product and feel good about it, right? So it's all about that good journey that one has. So if you would be looking at any of these examples, you would not be able to make up your mind or maybe make a decision as quick as the business wants, right? So you will think that, okay, do I want to go inside this building? What will they do to my kid, right? So all of these things that matters. So since we are all in a digital world, we will be looking at how and what happens in those digital product and what we actually do in UX or UI. So generally these terms are used separately, but like we know that okay, UI is part of the UX umbrella only, right? So everything, even if we create any interface, it will eventually go on and give you a good user experience. But like talking about some technical terms that we do inside these two uh, fields or roles will be somewhat like this. There is a lot of things that we can do, but these are few major uh, headlines that we can gain from it. So like in UX, we do product strategy, we do research, we do brainstorming, we build an IA, we do testings, we create wireframes, all of these things. And UI is onto the visual side wherein we create the visual designs, the interactions, animations, take care of the color, typography, layout, graphics, all of those things, right? And when these two combine with some uh, other core skills like empathy, design thinking, collaboration, all of these things, we get our end product, right? So few things that we do, and we have always heard about a lot of things that okay, we follow a certain process to build something, right? To achieve our end goal or to create our end product. There is in the industry, we know that there is no set process to do anything or to create any product, but we do have certain guidelines that okay, we can do this, then we can do that, then we can do that based on the requirements that we have, based on the timelines that we have, based on the needs and requirements from the user, from the business, right? So few other things
ఇప్పుడు
like
నేను చెప్పాను కదా ఎట్లా మన అంతకుముందు ఉన్నది అనేది అట్లా కావాలి కదా స్ట్రక్చర్ అంటే
ఈ కేటగిరీస్ లైక్ మనకి
okay. So generally what a design process looks like, if you'll say in the real world, it will
Hello,
not
sir.
be like it. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
sir. Once you explain that difference between UI and UX, once shortly, sir. Once I am difference both in between
Okay.
both the difference. Yeah.
Okay. We'll go
Yes.
again back. So see, UX is the backend of any product. If you will see in a very simple language. So if you are using an application and if you are looking at the website or an application on your mobile, the thing that you see is UI, right? That is the user interface. So user
Okay,
interface
sir.
is just that the colors, the typography, font, the spacing between it, all of these things comes under the UI part. Also the animations going on, all of those things. And why we put all of these things are UX. So why we did all of these decisions. So why we picked red color for our application, why we chose a serif font for our application. All of these things are done in UX, wherein we make decisions, wherein we make strategy, wherein we research, wherein we create decisions to create the UI part. Right? Does
Okay,
it
sir.
help?
Yeah. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Sir.
Thank you. So this is
Abhishek, you are muted. You are on mute. You are on mute.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So in an ideal scenario, this will be like a design process that someone must follow to reach their end goal. But generally in the industry, uh, there can be some back and forth. So it's not always a linear process. It's like anything can come from anywhere, and we can move ahead, go back, then moves to certain other process. But generally, what happens is when you have anything from scratch, you discover. You don't, so for example, if we want to create an application that helps people go from one place to another, if Ola, Uber, Rapido, all of these things were not there in the market existing, if this was something that you had to solve, you will start with the discovery phase wherein you discover what the problem is, right? Wherein you go do your research, do your uh, uh, primary, secondary, all of these type of research, wherein you talk to users, maybe you go on Google search, you read articles, you talk to your business people. So here you discover what the problem is to understand that what we are trying to create, right? Then again, next comes on the define phase, wherein we define what is needed, right? What type of users will use it, what type of journeys it will have, what type of uh, scenarios it will have in those journeys. So all of these things happen in those defined phase wherein we define the scope and everything of the product. Right? So next up, we come on to the ideate part, wherein we actually start doing something on paper with the team, everything. So we have brainstorm sessions, we do create user flows, information architecture, and also one more thing. I think maybe if there might be few terms that you might want to uh, gain some elaborate answers. So please feel free to put that in the chat and I'll explain that in more detail, right? Because I think in the event of time, we cannot go through each and every keyword, but few keywords that you might think that, okay, this is something that I might want more information on. Please feel free to ping that in the chat, right? Okay, so next phase after ideating, after we have all the information, after we have sorted all the information, after we get a basic layout of what we want to do, we create wireframes, we create final visual design, we create prototypes, we create micro interactions. All of these come into this phase. And then the next phase is once we have our product ready, we test it. We give it to maybe the real users, we test it among ourselves, we do a lot of evaluation if that works or not works. So this phase, after this phase, we don't directly take it in the market. If there are some feedback, we might go again back to the discover phase where we might want to do a bit more research. We might go back to the define phase wherein we might have to define few more things. We might go back to ideations. We might go back to the visual design. So it's an ongoing loop that can happen until and unless we have some sort of product that actually users can relate to, right? So this is what a general process looks like. And there are a lot of other things that can happen in these phases also, right? But these are the major phases because there are a lot of methodologies to do research. There are a lot of methods to brainstorm, lot of methods to create wireframes or visual designs, do testings. So it can be a lot of other things, but uh, basic overview with standard practices. We have these phases inside all of the different processes, right? So coming on to an important part wherein we always think that what skills would be required to become a good UX designer, maybe, right? So we generally focus on the tools and stuff, but we forget about few other things that are even more important to be a designer, right? So I have actually segregated into hard skills, soft skills, and crossover skills. So the hard skills are your technical knowledge that you have. So like the tools that you use, Adobe XD, Photoshop, Illustrator, Figma, Motion, uh, After Effects, all of these things, the tools that you use, the uh, design skills that you have, maybe wireframing, prototyping, visual communication, user interface, testing, research, all of these come under your hard skills that you actually require to do the work, right? To do work on the tool that you are using to work to actually create that product, right? Next up, we have our soft skills. So this is something that we don't focus on much, but are actually more important than the hard skills. Tools you can learn in maybe 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, as you want to spend time on that. But these are few things that are even more important than those because these are something that are the base of a designer, right? So empathy, we talk a lot about empathy, but uh, it is not something that can be just read and learned from, right? It is something that needs to be maybe practiced or inculcated through our habits, right? It is something that is inculcated in us, right? Communication, very important because even if you create great designs, but if you are not able to explain it to your business owners, your clients, your stakeholders, it will not sell, right? At the end of the day, it's all about selling yourself or selling your designs. So communication plays a very important role in that. right? Next up is interpersonal and collaborative skills. So you will not be always working alone. There might be few people in your team, outside of your team, with whom you will be working. So those collaborative interpersonal skills will help you there. Critical thinking, yes, definitely, wherein you think how to solve those problems and how you take actions in those situations, right? Curiosity, I think that is the very core of a designer. If you are not curious, you'll not be able to grow. So, because you were curious that what will happen in this session, you came to attend this session, right? Your curiosity made you register for the whole month of learning, right? So, that is the whole core of what we become. And last is definitely continuous learning. Even you spend 1 year, 2 year, 10 years, 20 years, or 50 years in doing anything, you will learn because we know how the world is evolving. Now there is a boom of AI. Maybe there will be a boom of something else 5 years down the line. So if you will not learn, if you will not evolve, you'll not be able to compete in this market, right? Anyone with better skills, better learning will maybe beat you on that, right? So these skills are very important when you enter into do any project, do any work in any organization, be it small or big. This will help you, right? And next up are maybe some brownie skills that you can have. So this will maybe make you a little bit more better. So first is definitely the business acumen, wherein you know what business does and how business functions, because any design that we will be making in that environment will be directly or indirectly helping the business to grow. And if business will not grow, you will not get your hikes, you will not get your salaries, right? So if business grows, you grow, right? So something very important, research and analytics. A lot of designers think that, okay, I know how to work on Figma and I know how to create great designs, but I don't want to do research or I don't want to look at analytics. But this is something, if you do, it will help you judge your designs before someone else judges it. It will help you create better products before anyone else gives you a lot of feedback. It will be very good to have that add-on that, okay, I can do research, I know what I am working on, and I know that how my designs are performing so that I can make it better, right? Next is customer service. So there are like all of the products at the end of the uh, funnel, there is a customer who is using it. So customer service is it does not mean that you have to talk to your customer and troubleshoot their problems, but you know what they want and then you work on solving it, right? So that is customer service, wherein you take care of your customer, not directly calling them, but indirectly through your design. Coding and development, it is something that is a very debatable topic, wherein a lot of people think that coding is necessary to become a designer. It is not. Coding or development, you don't need to learn to become a designer. It's just that if you know it, it would be better for you to talk to other people. So we talked about the collaborative skills here. Here, when you'll work on your designs, when you will give them to your developers, you will know that, okay, if there is some problem developers are facing, I'm able to know that, okay, this problem can be solved maybe by just adding a small tag or maybe just using a simple condition here, right? And last thing is UX writing. So UX writing is very different from copywriting or content writing. So we work on a lot of mobile applications or websites wherein maybe we use a lot of CTAs, we use a lot of banners with some messages. So UX writing plays a very important role wherein you know, okay, this is a sort of keyword or maybe this is sort of line that will attract the attention of our user. So, and you know that, okay, this will make them feel good. So, take example of Zomato. When we receive those notifications that, okay, khana khaya hai kya? Or maybe like it is raining outside. Do you want chai and samosa? So that is the beauty of UX writing, wherein you understand that okay, if a person sees this, they'll be delighted. They will feel good about it. So that is the essence of UX, and that's how you, with these little things, you make the user experience better. All right. So few examples of like we saw few bad examples, but few good examples of how UX plays an important role. So we all use Google search, right? So when we search, when we type something, it gives us suggestions. So you have that um ability to see that, okay, if I was typing something, maybe if I was just typing CAR, it will give me multiple option that it can be tune or it can be nibble, carnival, cartoon, or anything that comes with car, right? So those autocomplete, those auto suggestions helps us make better decisions. Even sometimes we given a wrong spelling of something, and it gives you that okay, were you looking for this? So it is helping you achieve your task, and that's what a user experience is. That's what a good user experience is. If they will not, if they were not giving these examples, you will just be going and searching, and then maybe sometimes we are not we don't know spellings of each and everything. Maybe we write something and it shows us something, right? And then we are just looking and scrolling that where is the exact thing, right? So this is just to enhance that experience that okay, this is something. If you want this, this is a suggestion from my end, and you can just click and reduce your uh, the whole journey from searching to going to that page. Right? Another thing we all love to play with Alexa or maybe those voice controls, voice assistants on chat or maybe navigation or anything. It actually so these things were actually made for just a little not a little a smaller user group wherein these functions were actually implemented to cater to people with uh, special abilities. If they were not able to type, they can just speak and they'll able to type it there. But this sort of revolution catered everyone, and it was like a hit with even people who don't want to use the keyboard. They'll just speak and they'll use that interface, right? A good example of that. Another example wherein we take care of how our users will react to certain interfaces. So if someone wants a light mode, there are different fonts, different color of fonts, different contrast, different brightness on all of those things. But if you are using on the dark mode, you will have that different interface there, right? Just to cater to your needs, because maybe you don't have that great eyesight, but if you look at this and if you adjust your brightness and contrast, you will be able to view it really good, right? So these few examples of good, if you have any other good examples, you guys can put it in the chat and you can share with us. Right? If you see that, okay, this was something that I came across and it was really good, you can go ahead and tell us so that we also know that, okay, yes, these were some good user experiences for you. So coming on to the last segment of our interaction is how to build user first products. So this is nothing technical, but more into how to reach that thing, right? Just I haven't spent much into detailing it. It's just to give you an overview, just to give you that, okay, if we are following this, we'll be able to create a good product, a product that everyone loves, right? I don't think there will be people who hate Google search, right? If you go to it, you search it, it's a good experience. Maybe some people use a different browser or a different search engine. That's a different thing. That's a choice they might have. But if we talk about the experience that we have while searching, while discovering products, it's good for most of us. So, how to build a user-first products? Any Shah Rukh Khan fans here?
Guys, response. Yeah, emojis. Response to emojis. Oh,
Okay.
they are spamming hearts. I hope you see that.
I will come to the screen. Okay. We have some nice.
You can go through the chat box. There are many questions waiting for you.
Okay. You can also general sequence prediction, which is first night recommendation is best to use. Absolutely, yes. Can't certain. Okay. I think we can look at these
Answer.
questions once we wrap it up.
Yeah.
It's because it's just we are just towards the end of all our slides. So
Yep.
okay. So why I used this image is the first lesson that we can have to create a user first product is to understand what your users want, right? So Shah Rukh Khan might not be the greatest actor or the best actor if you talk about the theater sense or anything, but he knows what the user wants, right? So he connects with the user. He empathizes with their needs, right? He knows that, okay, people want this and I am this, and it he can connect and then work on his films, on his acting, on his oration, whatever he, right? So the first rule of thumb is understand what your users want, right? Empathy. Empathy is that wherein you understand, you do your research, you go get into their shoes, you understand the problem, right? So there is one popular saying which says that, okay, you if you uh, understand the problem well, you have already solved 70% of that problem. So understanding the problem, understanding your users, that is something that definitely makes a great product. You guys watched this movie? Yes, we have something. You guys know this movie, right? What was he doing? He became a chief minister for one day and started doing a lot of things.
Right. Yeah.
One day CM. Yes, correct. So, and why people started loving him was because he was doing things for people, not for him, right? So, in our context, we should be creating for users, not for ourselves. We have our own judgments, we have our own biases. A lot of people I have met, and a lot of my managers only. So they were like, okay, I love green color, so the app button will have green color. They don't understand that, okay, the users might require something else, but if they love that color, they will have that color. So think of your users first, design for them, not for you. We might have a lot of biases. We might think that, okay, if I can do this particular task, if I can fill this form in 1 minute, my users will also be able to do the same, right? If, for example, just like Android users and iPhone users get accustomed to using that iPhone. So they don't feel that, okay, there might be some limitations there. But when an Android user starts using iOS, he or she feels that, okay, I don't have this option here. It was there in my Android phone, right? So designing for your users first, not for yourself, will help you like break all those biases, think like them, and it will help you make a better product for them, not for you. Because at the end of the day, we want our users to use those products. We know about uh, all these images. If you guys uh, look at Bollywood news and everything, anyone who knows Deepika Padukone?
Many of them knows Deepika Padukone.
So from Deepika's perspective, what we can learn, if anyone can give me just a one-word answer, what we can learn from Deepika's perspective here.
Multiple variants.
Very, I think very close. Uh, so yes, multiple variants. Not I would not say multiple variants, but it would be for me. It
Yeah.
would be
Try
test,
everything.
and iterate.
Yeah. Try
Right?
everything
So
and choose what you like.
correct,
Choose the best.
exactly. Choose
She
the
loves the
best.
designs. She loves the designs.
So so test and iterate. And I'm not saying like don't take it relationship by just for the product sense, right? Don't do it in your relationships. If it is very toxic, yes, definitely do it. But so test your product. If it is good, if it is meeting your expectations, if it is meeting your users' expectation, it's good. If it is not, then iterate. Then see that okay, this is not we were wanting, and we can remove it. We can skip it. Maybe we can create a better version, right? That's why a lot of products you see come in beta versions wherein they are just testing. They test, implement, they test, and then they iterate. You might see on Instagram, there are a lot of features that come and go. On LinkedIn, there are a lot of features that they put in, they test, and then they remove it, right? So test and iterate. Never fall in love with your designs until and unless you know that, okay, this is something that my users will actually want, right? So this is with this, we are at the end wherein we just have this little graph which shows that, okay, poor UX, good UX, and great UX. Poor UX, definitely it will not meet your needs. It will not uh, meet your expectations. It will just be a trouble for you, right? A good UX, definitely it will meet your expectation. It will meet your needs. It will add some value. But a great UX, it exceeds your expectation. It anticipates your needs, and it adds more value, right? So better the experience, better the value of the product, value of you as a designer, value of your company. So all of these things combined will actually give you the best user experience or the best product that you can create, right? So with this, we come to the end of the session. Um, we can now open for any questions. I think we can go into the chat and see what questions are there. And if you want to connect aside up, After the session, connect on LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever you want. You can ping me anytime. We can have a chat. Not an issue. Right?